Hello, and welcome to the W.A.I.T channel. What Am I Thinking? A podcast where two sisters share uplifting conversations on fun and sometimes serious topics.
Join us each week by clicking the notification bell and subscribing to our channel. If you enjoy the show, use the share link. It's one of the best ways to expand the conversation.
Hello, and welcome back to the W.A.I.T channel, What Am I Thinking? Today we're going to talk about Vanderpump Rules, and after the reunion recap, where are they now, what are they doing? And with this particular franchise, much like the New Jersey franchise we talked about last week, there just seems to be every day or every other day something new, jaw-dropping, that comes out about the aftermath of that reunion show. When we learned about Raquel, Rachel, whatever she's calling herself, and Tom. What are your thoughts, Tracy, on anything that you've been hearing about where they are now?
So, we knew we weren't getting the real timeline of the relationship even after Raquel did her 6-day post-reunion interview. As James Kennedy said, multiple. We knew they were together multiple times because Tom was so insistent on trying to make it seem like it was one time and they took a pause. It was never definitive how long this pause supposedly lasted, but I am a person who has never been a Tom Sandoval fan in the first place. Not that I was a Kristen fan, but I felt he was disingenuous. I felt he was on his high horse on a lot of things. So he did not hang around with Tom Schwartz and Jax, who were known cheaters in their relationship, and not cheat himself. Mm-hmm. Okay. I felt Miami Girl always was.
There was something to her story.
I knew he had messed around with her. And I would say that just as fluid as Ariana is, I want to say he probably is too. And that's okay. However, don't be the person that is pointing fingers at everybody else and acting as if you're so perfect. Mm-hmm. So the fact that we're in this situation and the relationship has ended is not shocking to me. The sad part is that they probably should have ended it long before this, because I'm a big believer. If you ain't happy, then move on. Mm-hmm. You don't have to hurt the other person with infidelity. You don't have to do that. Have conversations, go to counseling, do all those things, which they were in counseling. Put quotes in that.
But the thing that I found really strange about them, and when you listen to Ariana, and I didn't watch the whole season, I saw bits and pieces, mm-hmm. And how people remarked she was always offering excuses, mm-hmm. for Tom, mm-hmm. when people would come to her with things. And then with Raquel, and we now know Raquel was digging for information, she would be the one that asked, well, are you still in love with him? Mm-hmm. Are you sexually attracted to mm-hmm. him? And she would say that she was, but then to find out they were not really having a active sex life.
Well, depends on who you listen to for that.
Well, you're correct. Each person has their definition of what that is. And the person that is saying it's not, that's their definition. The person that's saying it is, that's their definition. Mm-hmm. So somewhere in the middle,
true.
There's some truth. But
Tom did not go a year with only masturbation.
No, if he said that, I didn't hear that.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes. He said years with an S on it.
I think he was just
okay.
exaggerating.
And this is post finding out about Raquel. And we know even on the show with his horrible statement that she had a t-shirt on.
Yeah, that was
cringy, to say the least.
Yeah.
But, each person has to accept, their role in how things have unfolded.
And I know we're talking about where they are now. I think that I applaud Bravo in the fact that they gave each one of them that time alone.
At a time. Yeah,
and I also feel that the reunion, the way it was done with Tom, with all of them there together, nothing was accomplished. It was a shouting match.
For sure.
So then why bring people together if there really is no resolution? They're just fighting and shouting at another person. They rarely get, and I'm not saying that I am for or pro Tom, but I feel if you're going to ask him a question, give him the opportunity to answer it, and don't have 3 other people shouting at him, calling him a liar. Let him lie. Let him say whatever it is.
So I don't think they felt as if it was going to turn into what it did. I don't think you could have predicted how explosive the others, and I don't even think they knew that they were going to when he starts right and because you said you didn't see the first part 1 of the reunion, when he starts with when Andy says, this is your first time around the group, do you want to say anything to the group?
That one I did see.
I thought you said you saw. No, that was Jersey.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so when he starts with the breaking up crying, that was the thing that I think fueled the way everything, because I don't think they felt like they were going to have that kind of response. Because think about it. This person for Lala, let's say, this person who has called you and tried to point fingers at you, demeaned you, made you feel less than because of your relationship and all that. James Kennedy, this person who you looked up to, felt was a brother. Katie wasn't that bad, so I'll leave her out of it. And Ariana, your partner, for almost 10 years, when he comes to sort of say whatever he's going to say, I don't think they even knew that they were going to have that reaction. However, Bravo would have gotten thrown off the air if they didn't have this reunion. They had to have, and I commend them for letting the one-on-ones happen, because we kind of got to hear we got to hear what Tom had to say, even, through his Howie Mandel, whatever you want to call that. So it wasn't like we were shocked at anything that they were going to try to say or what they said. I feel like they did the best they could under the circumstances of, were there something, I don't think there was anything that was said during the actual 3 parts that was like,
we didn't glean anything new, really.
I don't think I did. I don't think I learned anything new. I'm really, it may have been one thing, but I don't think, because and the reason it is because they said it somewhere else probably before. Like, we knew that Ariana knew about Miami Girl. We knew that I didn't know that Tom and Schwartz were not going to have their timeline together. That I was a little surprised, but I'm like, y'all didn't talk about what. And the thing is, it was Tom Sandoval that was trying to rewrite it, because Tom Schwartz, from the earliest that I can remember, he was like, I found out in August. Now, when Tom Sandoval told him that he was in love, now Tom may want to say that was January, but I don't buy that either.
But here's the thing, and even when it comes to timelines and the way they jumped on Schwartz with it, me personally, if something is not like about my life,
right,
and where I have a buy-in with it.
Right.
I'm not trying to remember specific dates when it
Right.
comes to other people.
right. But he did have specific dates because he was like, it was August 31st.
And that's the
'cause I
point that I'm
remember
getting
blah, blah,
ready
blah.
to make, is that anybody that says something like that
Makes you question it.
makes me question it, and that you all had a round table where you were trying to get your stories together.
But obviously they didn't, because
Well, no,
Tom Sandoval was not.
but we know when you're trying to make a story, you got to remember it. The
So
truth
maybe
is
we're
going to
saying
come.
that he didn't remember.
Exactly.
Maybe.
And that's what
Maybe
Katie was trying to say.
Right.
Was
right.
that he didn't remember the script.
Story. Yeah. He was probably so focused on what he and Raquel was going to say that he felt like he had rehearsed enough.
I think
with
that
Schwartz, maybe. I don't know.
Schwartz is definitely, the weak link in that particular chain. And I read an article about their ventures together,
Mm-hmm.
and how he's trying to disentangle himself now with Tom, because
Mm-hmm.
he feels that he's being painted out to be this bad person, when why should people be angry at him? He didn't do anything. It's not his responsibility to go and tell Ariana what's going on with the guy that she's living with. I can buy in on all of that. I 100% agree. He is not the morality police. It was not his job. And whatever he knew, he just knew.
Okay.
But yeah, there is a consequence when you got to realize, if this is what your partner is doing, there may be a backlash, and it might hit you.
Right.
And
that's to me, that's where whatever he's feeling and whatever kind of consequence he's dealing with is the result of him not holding Tom's feet to the fire about what Tom needed to do, and about him not doing proactively some things. I mean, telling him, look, man, because I don't think any of them felt like it was going to be the backlash that happened.
No.
Because Tom cheating was not the shocker.
No.
Tom cheating with Raquel, who was Ariana's good friend, that's the whole thing. It's not about that they cheat. Because if he had cheated with a random.
So this is another thing I want to say with regard to that, because you're right. And Raquel, that's a whole something is going on upstairs with her.
Mm-hmm. Well, we know that. She said she was getting evaluated.
Yes. But you need to stop. Why her engagement to James ended. So the other girlfriend, not Katie, but was James' girlfriend. She was a part of the group.
Oh, Kristen
has come out, and she has said that, remember when Raquel went to the doctor about her nose and about him headbutting, and how her story kept changing with that, how it happened, and then Lisa's telling her, you need to sit down and have this conversation with him, and then so Kristen said that scene when her and James were fighting in the parking lot, she said that scene was edited like nobody's business, because they only showed her reaction to something that James had done to her.
Right.
And she said they had been physical before. James does have a temper. So when the season started and they weren't together, and I had heard all of this stuff about her with the girl from Beverly Hills, her son's Oliver, she was with Oliver. Then the manager, Peter, she was with Peter. Then she's with Schwartz. Then I'm like, and the season hadn't even aired yet. I'm like, what is going on this show? What happened with her and James?
Well, we knew what happened, because at the last reunion is when we found out that they broke up.
But I think there's more to the formula of who James Kennedy really is, and what Kristen is saying is that the producers and LVP have been protecting him.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe that 1,000%. Because look at what has aired. What has aired is bad.
It's bad.
So imagine So yeah, I believe that 1,000%.
Yeah.
I believe that 1,000%.
And I think
however,
okay,
we know that for her to have still, because it was so much stuff, she knew for her to think that he wasn't cheating on her, because that was something that I would have loved to, because they brought that up at the reunion and he wouldn't answer.
Him and Lala were together more than once, and they need to stop lying. First,
I think Lala has said that. Lala
did she
has
said
that.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
Lala
right.
said that.
Yeah.
And but we know he had cheated with other girls.
Yeah.
And they were trying to tell Raquel that, and she would not listen. But even if he hadn't cheated, he was not a good partner. We know those things. But she stayed, and when she finally bailed out, that does not excuse her choosing to, get with Tom. All the other people, I have no problem with her being with Peter. I didn't even have a problem with her being with Oliver, because word on the street, as Lisa said, he was separated from his person. The fact that he was dipping back, that's for the wife to decide, whatever. But it's one of those things where she just chose to be magnetized by the wrong person.
Over and over and
over again. If she had not chose, because I think they would have forgiven if her and Tom Schwartz had get together. I'll say that again. But Sandoval, Ariana was your girl. Right. She was too close. And Sheena was your other girl, is Ariana's best friend. It would have been almost as bad if she had got with Sheena's man. Those two men should have never even been an option. That is what everybody is finding. And it should never been an option for Tom. Because Tom is the one that holds the most blame, because he was the one in the relationship.
Exactly.
Our Raquel was single. She was single. And so I put most of the onus of responsibility at the feet of Tom Sandoval. And the fact that he's having a rough time, I just hope that, just like Raquel is getting help, I hope he is talking to somebody to help him navigate, because the trajectory that he thought he had for his life and career, it ain't happening right now.
Right.
And he's the way, now whether people are going to see his band just out of curiosity, maybe that's helping him, and maybe that's the thing that's helping him be okay. Because I don't see how you do another season of Vanderpump Rules with him, because they're not letting him back in that friend group. And Tom Schwartz, Ariana has already said, you're not my friend because you're his friend. Well, I heard Lala say that she's talking to him. So if you're talking to him, either you're going to get cut off from Ariana, meaning Schwartz, or you're going to have to stop talking to Schwartz, or she's going to have to bend her little rule.
I just wish Ariana would not give this situation as much energy as
and maybe it will lessen once she is in a happy, healthy, another situation. She won't be so, because I think it is, I don't know, because and maybe somebody needs to get in her ear and say, girl, we all want our VPR check for another season.
Right.
And if you keep holding this hard line, there is no way we can do another season. And maybe that might happen. And maybe because she's realizes, yes, something about her is open, but to really get it to give what it needs to be open on TV. So that it can become a tourist spot the way Tom did. That's what she needs. I don't know if she's going to get to a healing place to be there, because she's getting bank all over the place.
She is.
So she doesn't need money the way everybody else may need that money. So maybe Sheena has been going on the coattails for some of these. I think that Uber one is really a cute little commercial.
Well, and also her podcast has
blown up. Okay.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So, but once again, for those things to be sustained, you need to be
Yeah.
on the reality
I really
TV
think
for another season.
For all of them, this should be a very eye-opening moment for them. They came on the show very young, very wide-eyed, and to see after all of those years of filming, you know, where, because it was like a lot of that main cast that had been there for almost a decade, where they landed and how could they have ever allowed something like that to happen in their lives. I think it's a teaching moment, and I think that everybody should come back. I think everybody should be offered the opportunity to come back, even Raquel. But my understanding is that her family
is saying no.
Is not going to allow that. And I think it's something with her. I'm not into mental health, but I feel that a person that is constantly grasping, and I know she was adopted, it could be something linked to that, a need, you know, to want the unattainable. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I just found her choices bizarre.
But you also have to look at the truth of Arrested Development.
Yes.
And so she has been in a bubble of pageantry.
Yes.
And some other areas, because when she came on with James.
Do you remember her interview with Lisa? I do.
Oh my gosh. You know, it was as if I'm like, how old is she?
Yes, it was like a primary child.
It was
in primary school.
So we know there is some Arrested Development.
Yeah.
There is, even she may be chronologically, because that's when I hear people say she's 28. She was 28 when this happened. I think she may have turned 29 now. I'm like, she may have been chronologically 28, but she was just barely probably 21.
I remember when
Developmentally.
Stassi first met her, and she said something about Jeffrey Dahmer, and and Raquel was, I don't know who that is, and Stassi was,
that.
yeah, well, you know how Stassi can be
Impatient to the nth degree.
right, and that was during her first season, and I just kind of felt like, you know, all the screws haven't been quite tightened up there, but I feel that, like you said, the person that holds much of the blame in this situation, it's Tom Sandoval. He much older, knows better. I think he chooses women that he can manipulate, and he saw her as an easy mark. And she said, when Andy said, why did you keep going back? And then he asked, were you in love? She paused for a moment. I think even she didn't know how to answer that. But she said, yes, I was in love, because she felt that's the answer.
That's what she needed to say.
Right.
Because that would, in her mind, help to make it okay. But if I say I was just kind of just having fun, that would be horrible.
You're really a monster.
It's probably the truth. That they both were fulfilling something for each other that really had nothing to do with love.
Yeah.
Had nothing to do with love.
Yeah.
You know, definitely lust, but it was, and the excitement of it. Sneaking away, here you are on Sheena's wedding.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, so there's a lot of sad things, but I think they could even if Ariana sticks to her stuff, they're going to have to be able to show post this happening, what's happening with him, where is his life. So he may not get a lot of camera time, but they're got to show his journey and how he's landed and what's going on with him. And even though Raquel's family doesn't want her to do, I think at a minimum she needs to do some post to show that she's surviving, that there is resilience there.
If they can forgive Jax,
come on now,
and Kristen, having sex while Tom is in the bedroom.
Now that's the closest to what they did. So Tom basically did to Ariana what Kristen
and
did to him.
Yeah.
That is what happened.
Yeah.
But this is how telling that is. He stayed friends with Jax.
Right.
That wasn't what broke their friendship up.
It wasn't.
So, and guys do, because it was two guys do see it differently. Ariana and Kristen were not friends.
For a long time.
They were not friends. They got a post friendship, which is crazy, but it happened.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, this is not our first time seeing this craziness, but we didn't take Kristen and Tom's relationship. We didn't see like it lasting the way people saw Ariana and Tom's doing. I didn't see that because to me Ariana had, even though she said she would have done anything for him, on camera,
I wasn't for that relationship from the very beginning. From the very beginning.
Because I knew they had messed around.
Yes.
And to me, you're building it on a lie. Be honest to say, we messed around. So I agree with you. But that doesn't mean I wanted this to happen.
No.
But I agree. The foundation that you build it on,
it just wasn't there.
It matters. So here we are. You guys tell us what you think. Do you think they can come back for this? Can they do a successful season with them icing out Tom and Raquel? Raquel may not return at all, but we know Tom Sandoval wants a stage. He needs it. And what do you think? Do you want to see his journey post this big mistake he made? Let us know in the comment section and tune in next time to hear what we are thinking.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely ours and should be taken as such. Our thoughts are intended purely for entertainment purposes. Please do not take anything we say as fact or advice. Thank you for listening.